Hey y'all, we're back in our kitchen again, and I remember the Amish friendship bread recipe that I shared. Well, we're on day 10. We've been squeezing our bread and we're going to be adding and baking our bread. And I'm going to get 2 loaves today. So I'm going to add the remaining ingredients and get it in the oven. It's going to taste really good. Okay, so let's start. We're going to put our wet ingredients first. So this is our recipe here that's been on the counter, not in the refrigerator, and it's getting that sour taste, and that's what's so special about this bread. So we're going to have 1 cup of vegetable oil, and I have that here. So we're going to put our wet ingredients in first, okay, and then a 1/2 cup of milk, and it is 2% milk that I used, so we're going to put that in. All right, now we're going to put our dry ingredients in. Actually, let's put our eggs. And I'll crack the eggs over here in this little bowl. Make sure they're good. And we're going to put in 3 eggs. Okay, that'll get it to rise. So we'll have 3 eggs. That's our wet ingredients, and we're going to just give it a whisk turn like this. We're going to incorporate that. And this has got such a wonderful flavor bread. It's got the cinnamon and the sugar, and it's a loaf of bread that you really can't buy anywhere, and it's homemade, and anyone that would ever taste it is going to say, where did you get that bread? And it has to be sitting out. It cannot be refrigerated, and that's how you acquire this taste. Okay, so our wet ingredients are in. It's all incorporated and ready to go, but we're going to put 2 cups now of vanilla is liquid. So let's put in, how much vanilla here? 1 teaspoon. This vanilla smells fantastic. Okay, got that in. All right, now we're going to put in 2 cups of flour. So let's get that in. And we're going to mix it in. Remember on this recipe we said not to use metal. That was, the reason was, when it's sitting out on the counter, it just doesn't work with it. Today I'm using a metal whisk. It's okay because we're not going to put this back on the counter. We're going to bake the bread today. So it's fine to do it this way, but up until day 10, use wooden spoons, okay? So here we are, we're just mixing and blending, we're getting this flour in. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit now. And it says we can put our sugar, which is 1 cup, and you can add more if you want more sweetness. But I think the 1 cup is going to do it for us. So we're getting that incorporated. So I've got 1 cup out here, so I'm going to put that in. Let's get that incorporated. I will show you the ingredients one more time. You can look up the YouTube for the Amish friendship bread, but I will have the camera come down and take a look at that again, just in case you need it for today, and it's be quick because you're already watching this. You'll have it. I want you to try it. It's really different. It's good. You're going to taste the cinnamon and the sourdough flavor. It's going to be fantastic. Okay, we needed to put in salt. It's going to be a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And it's going to be cinnamon. And we are going to put in, how much cinnamon? 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. How many of you like cinnamon out there? Look at that, it doesn't even fit in the jar. It says 3. We're gonna put in 2. Okay, so we'll just do 2. Sprinkle that in. I love cinnamon, so I mean, if you want to put 2, but if you really are a cinnamon lover, you can put in 3. But we're just gonna put in 2. Okay? Because on top of this bread, I'm gonna show you a trick, okay? I'm gonna show you about the pans, but let's get this incorporated in. And it's gonna turn it a little bit darker. That's okay, cinnamon and sugar is good. How many's had cinnamon and sugar toast when they were little? You pop the bread in the toaster, butter on it, sugar and cinnamon. I mean, you're all set. Give me a glass of milk and I'm good to go out to school. That's how I was raised, but one of those things you used to do when you were a kid. Okay, this isn't for diabetics, okay, but it is something for holidays or something that you're going to go off your diet for. And it's a fun thing to do. So it's getting very incorporated now. So we have it all mixed up. Next thing we're going to add is, it calls for instant pudding and pie filling. And we're going to use vanilla. So you use your choice out. I've got Baker's Corner, but you can use Jell-O or any brand that you like. This is going to give it that really good flavor. So we're gonna, you can see how I'm putting the dry ingredients in one at a time, and then I'm incorporating, okay? So it's kind of filling up our bowl, but it's starting to smell really good. Cinnamon, sugar, now the vanilla is taking over here in the kitchen, and it's starting to form. It says you can put in pecans or walnuts. In my pantry I have walnuts today, and some of you may want the walnuts. Some of you say, well, I don't like nuts. Well, you don't have to put it in, it's just if you desire it. So what I'm going to do, so I can please both people, is I'm just going to put, and I'll show you how I put them on top. And once you put them on top for decoration, your walnut lovers will like it, but underneath, if you serve the piece, all they gotta do is just take them right off. So, but it does make your bread very nice looking when you're fixing it for guests. So it looks like we got it. We added the oil, the sugar, the vanilla, 3 large eggs, a half a teaspoon of salt. In my flour, I used self-rising today. So I didn't have to put in the baking powder or the soda. Okay, so it's in there for me already, just a quick trip. So it'll raise, and I'm using Lily White because I like that one. So we put the 2 cups of flour, 1/2 cup milk, and the vanilla pudding, and the 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So look, I haven't blended it with a blender. I've just used it by a hand whip. And I'm not worn out, I'm not going fast, I'm just incorporating and blending so that I know everything is mixed together. Now, our next step. It's going to give me 2 loaves, probably 2 large loaves. So what I've done is that you can use oil or butter. I've chosen to use butter. And it says grease well. So I've greased my pans. And in my spice rack, I already have cinnamon sugar. And this gives the bread a very nice bottom to it, okay? So I'm just going to shake it in like this, and I'm going to coat it on top of the butter. See what I'm doing? And that's just going to give it a good flavor when you bake it today. The whole house is going to smell like this. So I'm going to do both pans. Just sprinkle it in. I wish you could smell this today. It smells really, really good. And this bread is going to come out very easily. It's going to slide right out of these pans. And I think I got it. I've coated. And that's how they look. Okay. So we are done now with our day 10 of mixing. And I've got, the only thing I gotta do is put it in the pans. So, I'm gonna divide this up now between 2 loaves. So we're gonna pour half a pan and pour another half a pan. Okay, and then we'll scrape it out. And if we try to keep the line about even, so you know your mixture has plenty room to rise up. Okay, and we're going to scrape it all out. Okay, very good. Now, we're going to apply our nuts. Set this over here. And I'm going to leave the nuts whole. Okay? And I'm just going to place them, if the camera can come in a little bit. And you're just making your bread look nice, okay? And I'm using half of the whole halves. They're easy to take off, and it makes a very pretty bread when it's baked. Okay, you spread them out a little bit. It's just for, it's for flavor too. It gives it that nutty taste that nut lovers will like. But it also just is a pretty, and this is about a half a cup of nuts, okay? So then, now our bread is decorated on top. Half a cup of nuts between both breads. So then I'm going to take my cinnamon sugar again, and I'm just going to hit it lightly over the top of the nuts. Because what's it going to do? It's going to caramelize those nuts. And it's going to put a sugar taste on the bread and the nuts. And it's really good. All of your nut lovers will love this, to taste it. Okay, so there we are. We're all set to go. And I'm going to put this in a 325. This is going to bake slow for 1 hour. And then you're going to do the test with a toothpick or something. When it comes out clean, your bread is done. So I'm going to put the decoration, or not the recipe here, and he can come down on it so you can take a look of your ingredients on the 10th day. But he's going to show you the whole thing. But on the 10th day, we did our baking, okay? And you can take out your portions to give away to friends, as it explains there. So you always can keep an Amish bread on the counter going, basically, is what friendship bread is. You're going to like this bread, and people are going to say, where do I get it? And you're always going to say, okay, well, I've got one on the counter, going, so I'll bring some to you. And I will see you back here and show you the loaves completed, and see you in a few minutes. But it's going to be about an hour. I'll see you then. Hey y'all, we're back, and I took the loaves of Amish friendship bread out of the oven, and they're smelling great and they're going to taste great. I've sliced a piece, and you can come in and look. I put the nuts on the top. It does turn a darker brown, and I think that's from the cinnamon that we put in, the 2 teaspoons that went in there. So I've sliced a piece here, and I'm going to take a little bit of butter and put it on and do a taste test today. Very good. Now, it's light. I taste the nuts, which are on top, and I like nuts. But I taste the cinnamon, but you taste that sour. The sourdough part is the part that you can't buy from a store. You're going to absolutely love this. It's delicious. It's good for breakfast, tea time, snack time. The kids will love it. But give it a try. Amish friendship bread. It's wonderful. And you got to thank the Amish for it. It's an old-time recipe, but it's very, very fun to do. The kids can help you squeeze the bag for the 10 days. And participate in packing lunches or whatever. Okay, we'll see you on the next one.